going to speak a little bit about Bhagavad Gita, but before that, we sing our bhajan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. 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 नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी विचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारणे जय कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर सरस्वती गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. See some new faces. Anybody for the first time? What do you have here? What's the name?
Crispin.
Crispin.
Yeah, from the UK.
From the UK. My name is Diptiman. So I serve in Iskcon Oslo. I've been given the service of speaking something today, giving a lecture. I don't know if I'm qualified for that, but with your blessings, I would like to speak something. So some weeks back, I gave a lecture, and I started with Bhagavad Gita verse 2:8 to 7. And I'm going to start again from that. So I'm going to again start from that. I'm going to recite the verse. Karpanya dosho pahato svabhava prachami tvam dharma samudacheta yashreyasya nishchitam ruhitan me shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Actually, I just recited this, and I recited this with a message that this is a song. So it can be recited, can be sung. So if you want, you can also sing with me. So this is actually Bhagavad Gita BG 2:7. So if you would look up this verse, then maybe you can try to repeat. I can break it down, and then it would be nice. So this is BG 2.7. If you want to look up, you will find a Veda-based link to this verse, and then we can repeat a few times before I will. First motivation is to say that it can be sung. So most verses can be sung nicely. This one has slightly different meters. Usually, there are only two types of meters in Bhagavad Gita. This is the other type, so it's slightly longer. Yeah. So I will say, and then you can repeat part of this. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava. Prachami tvam dharma samudachetaah. Prachami tvam dharma samudachetaah. Prachami tvam dharma samudachetaah. Prachami tvam dharma samudachetaah. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava. Prachami tvam dharma samudachetaah. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava. Prachami tvam dharma samudachetaah. Yashreyasya nishchitam ruhitan me. Yashreyasya nishchitam ruhitan me. Yashreyasya nishchitam ruhitan me. Yashreyasya nishchitam ruhitan me. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava. Prachami tvam dharma samudachetaah. Yashreyasya nishchitam ruhitan me. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava. Prachami tvam dharma samudachetaah. Yashreyasya nishchitam ruhitan me. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Translation by His Divine Grace the key. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of my daily weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So I think most of you must have heard of this Bhagavad Gita, which is the song of God, literally translates to, and it's mainly dialogue between Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his disciple Arjuna. And I think all of us are also aware of the context in which Bhagavad Gita was spoken. Arjuna is a warrior, and Arjuna goes on to fight a very righteous battle. He was on the right side. The battle had to be fought. Everything was tried to avoid the battle and reach a dharmic or agreement so that the war must not be fought. But it could not be avoided, so the war had to be fought among cousins. And when Arjuna sees all his cousins, his grandfather, his other relatives and friends on the other side, and then he simply lost his composure and he did not want to fight. And more importantly, he was totally struck with the grief because he is like in this verse, he's saying, I'm confused about my duty. He does not know what to do. And in the following verse, it says that he's really suffering. His senses, all the senses of Arjuna. Um, he's really he's experiencing a lot of misery, a lot of pain, and he does not know what to do. And in this context, he is reaching out to Krishna. So we are all fighting our own different battles. We all have a lot of questions that we don't have answers to. And there are lots of troubling situations that we have in our lives. And in this context, just like us in our battles, Arjuna is also in the middle of a battle, and he turns to Krishna for answers. And before that, he says, I am surrendered unto you. So he gives himself up. He surrenders to Krishna and seeks help. A bit later in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says that four kinds of people approach me. Some people are, just curious. Some people are troubled, and like that. But he says four kinds of pious people. So it's all category of people who approach Krishna are pious. And an act of reaching out to Krishna, even for material problems, is not something which should not be done. Is a point I wanted to make, because right now at least Arjuna is he's suffering on his senses are suffering, right? His mind is suffering, so that is material problem. It's mind is matter, it's subtle body, right? And he does not know what to do. That means his intelligence is suffering. So that means intelligence is something which tells us, which gives us the reasoning as to what should be done. And that state of confusion is when his intelligence is also kind of suffering, is giving him troubles. And the mind is of course suffering because he's attached to all his relatives, and then he thinks that if a war will be fought, then these people will die. So there will be a lot of suffering. Therefore he's suffering, and suffering because of the outcome, which inevitably will lead to a lot of blood loss and violence, right? So Krishna, so Arjuna is seeking out and this is almost this is actually the first verse where Arjuna is in previous verses is totally describing all the troubles that he's going through in his mind, and he is giving all the reasons why he should not fight. But in this verse, for the first time, he's totally surrendered. He's praying upon Krishna. So actually, we in our spiritual life, in our different activities, we do our japa, we do our kirtan, but here there is also the prayer component that we should actually pray upon to Krishna that see I'm suffering, please help me. I'm not doing my japa properly, please help me. Not finding my guru, please help me. Or even simpler problems. I see devotees who are advanced devotees there. Krishna, Krishna is always close to them. In every second sentence says Krishna. They are always conversing with Krishna. They are not seeing any of their activities not without Krishna. Krishna, I have to drop my son today. Krishna, I have to, I mean, even for totally mundane activities, Krishna is actually very close to them. They are always trying to reach out to Krishna and asking for help. So, so this is what I wanted to mention that in this is a prayer verse. In this verse, Arjuna is praying upon Krishna. There are other prayers of also Arjuna where he is glorifying. So there are many things which we do in prayers. We often seek something in our prayers, right? We seek something. Krishna, please, let me get married. Or if I get married, oh my God, let me have a child, and then the child is sick. So these are the kind of prayers we sometimes do to Krishna, right? So this is one part of prayers. But in other parts of prayers, we devotees and especially advanced devotees, pure devotees, they glorify Krishna, and that also comes later after Krishna shows his universal form, and then within this Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is also glorifying Krishna, that he is accepting whatever Krishna has established, that he is the supreme person. Everything emanates from Krishna. There is no nothing that exists beyond Krishna, and beyond Krishna's energy. So, and this is again repeated by Arjuna, and that is glorification of Krishna, and that is also part of the prayers, right? And it's often said that it is good to repeat the prayers of pure devotees than to make up our own, Okay, we can do that, but at the same time, when they are coming or they are repetition of advanced devotees, then they are totally at transcendental platform. There are no mistakes there. They have a good understanding of Krishna. So then when we repeat the prayers of Queen Kunti from Bhagavatam, or we repeat the prayers of Bhishma Pitama or Giriraj, so those prayers should be repeated. They are in a way that is our or acharyas, different acharyas. They write their prayers. They write their bhajans. The six Goswamis of Vrindavan. They write their own prayers, and those are the prayers that we sing, right? When we are doing aratis for Krishna, then we repeat those prayers, and in that prayerful mood, we actually should recite Bhagavad Gita. That is also one point I wanted to make. Is that this is a dialogue, and this is a dialogue, and in this verse, Arjuna is actually surrendering unto Krishna, and in this surrendered mood, he is reaching out to Krishna to guide him. And then in this mood, we can once again try to recite this verse, right? Harpanya dosho pahata swabhava prachami tvam dharma sammuracheta yashreya nishchitam ruhitam me shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. So the last word is prapannam. Prapannam is to surrender. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains. So essentially, Arjuna does not know how to act, and he's totally delusioned, and he's totally confused. He's in a lot of pain and misery, and he does not know what to do. And Arjuna offers himself, and he's surrendered. And then what does Krishna say? Teach in Bhagavad Gita is how to surrender. He does not go in great detail. He details that he gives a summary of how to surrender. And there are some verses which I will actually continue reading, which um, which are not essentially in direct continuation of this verse, but in a way, it's also answering an answer of Krishna as to how to surrender and what are the different varieties of people and how they surrender and what kind of surrender they are actually ready for. And Krishna has a recipe of all such type of people, uh, how to surrender. So we'll shortly come on to that. And in between there are different and Bhagavad Gita deals with karma yoga and it deals with bhakti yoga and jnana yoga. The main message of Bhagavad Gita is bhakti. It is bhakti. Bhakti means loving devotional service to Krishna. It's quite interesting. Prabhupada, if you want to translate bhakti to English, I don't think there is a equivalent word for that. Some people can say devotion, but devotion itself is not bhakti. It's not totally bhakti. Devotion, okay, I can be devoted to somebody, but how Prabhupada translates this word is loving devotional service to Krishna. So it's not just devotion, but it's also service. Service is an active seva, active relationship. So you are cooking for Krishna, you are cleaning for Krishna, you're offering something, you're bringing some flowers and food for Krishna. So this is an active process, and you do that out of love. So that is bhakti, and bhakti is the main message of Krishna. The first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, mainly the main focus is karma, but there is also bhakti, message of doing bhakti to Krishna. And then the middle chapters are mainly on bhakti yoga, and the last 6 chapters, the 18 chapters, are on jnana, of knowledge. And but again, bhakti is not far from any of the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So you can actually bring out, Krishna says himself, he points to himself, mom, me, my. He says, almost everywhere, surrender to me, come to me. I will explain. I will guide you. Right? So I wanted to, like I said, we took this verse 2:7 from chapter 2, where where Arjuna is prayerfully reaching out to Krishna that he needs help. He is very sad. He does not know what to do. He's actually describing all the symptoms of grief, and it's very easy to connect if we have been in that situation. All those things are happening to Krishna, to Arjuna. Sorry, all those things, the grief, the misery that he's suffering, the darkness the dark place that he is in. Those those things are also described by Arjuna, and he's in a really dark corner. He does not know what to do, and in that situation, he is reaching out to Krishna. What a devotee would, what a non-devotee could do in this situation is to what to do. What would be not a very wise thing to do when we are in a dark place? Not find solutions, right? Try to defer a decision. Let's sleep on this, or actually do worse than that. Let's hit the bar. Let's get let's take a vacation, and then we will resolve this, right? Or let's see one movie or a series in Netflix, and then we will try to solve this problem. This problem will remain there, right? So it's extremely important to get out of this situation of confusion. We have to reach out to solve problems, and this is also something which is uh, which we should understand from Bhagavad Gita, that we have to find solutions. If it's a material problem, we have to seek material. If you are sick, go to doctor. If we have to fly, then we don't fly aircrafts ourselves. We depend on on the pilot flying it. So we seek of the help of people who are qualified to help in that direction, right? Um, Not always, you know, get stuck. We try to find solutions to problems, and 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 this is also something which is important, that we try to see, because I think in one of the lectures I've heard that we are in different gunas. Well, like the mode of ignorance, the mode of passion, and the mode of goodness. The tama guna, the raja guna, and the sat guna. Um, it's not that we, it's the dominant guna that we are in, right? So yeah, a person who is in sat guna, again I heard your lecture, they can balance the other gunas. So in the sense, they will need 6 hours of sleep, so they will need to use their mode of ignorance, the dhamma, right? And they will need to sometimes work, make things happen, um, build a temple for Krishna, and then you would need some amount of raja, right, to get going. Um, so the people in Sadguna, they can balance different gunas. The people who are in Raja, or mode of passion, um, they're uh, they the prominent guna is Raja. So the difference in different people and different gunas is how their intelligence acts. Intelligence is buddhi. Buddhi means what? How to act, what is wise to do, what would be the intelligent thing to do. Um, a person in tamaguna, or in mode of ignorance, will think what is wrong for him is right for him, right? What takes him further away from Krishna, what takes him more into Maya, what takes him to more lower modes of life in the next life, and even in this life, whatever is not righteous, those are the things that he will or she will think is the thing to do. And the mode of raja is when you're confused, you don't really know what to do. And in mode of sadguna, you actually know what to do. Your intelligence is guiding you, is your friend, is guiding you, um, um, as to what should be done. So when we are in state of confusion, we have to find answers. We have to know what is right for the thing to do. So that's what Arjuna was trying to do. And then I wanted to jump many chapters and take to and again, as we ended that verse where Krishna, unto Krishna is Arjuna totally surrendered. So what will you surrender to Krishna, right? And I will just read the English translation. It's 12:8 to 12:12. I'll just read first the translations. Just fix your mind on me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. My dear Arjuna, we know well. If you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. If, however, you are unable to work in consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all the results of your work, and try to be self-situated. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of fruits of action. And for such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. So these are a lot of verses, but I'll try to discuss one by one. So I just wanted you to think about the last verse, prapanna, which is to surrender. And in the first verse, okay, Arjuna has a physical body and a subtle body, and Arjuna is the soul, and whose body comprises of the gross body and the subtle body. And he says, I am surrendering unto you. So Krishna says, yes, good job. Now you surrender. What will you surrender first? First, surrender your subtle body. And that is the first verse. So just fix your mind upon me. I mean, if you go to somebody and say, I am surrendering unto you, and then he said, okay, you are surrendering, that means you're bringing something to me. You're going to use some part of you for my service, right? But what exactly is you surrender? And Krishna says, okay, that's a good mood. What you should surrender is your mind and intelligence first. So just fix your mind upon me. And this kind of bhakti is done by pure devotees. So if you are at a highest level of your perfection of your devotion, then this kind of bhakti you can engage in, because you can fix your mind on Krishna. You're never forgetting Krishna. When your mind is fixed upon Krishna, then your senses are also in control and they are only serving Krishna. The senses, they report to mind, right? So the senses, oh, I want to smell something for myself, will not happen. I want to taste some unmentionable food, will not happen, because in that situation, mind is always wants to serve Krishna, right? So when mind is serving Krishna, then all the senses are by definition um, in service of Krishna. They, so so that is no problem, right? Mind is serving Krishna, and intelligence also is serving Krishna. What does that mean? Buddhi. So I again heard in a lecture is that the place where we live is subtle body. In the sense, I may be living in Oslo, but my mind can be somewhere else. So that's where we are in, right? But the mind, when it is surrendered to Krishna, then they are never far from Krishna, wherever they are. Prime examples of such devotees, well, prime is the wrong word. Some of the examples are actually, why I'm saying this is that all pure devotees are glorious. All pure devotees are glorious. And you see this a lot, that they say, he's the pure devotee, he's the highest devotee, and it's used a lot because everybody is highest. There is no higher than highest. You know, when it comes to purity, and you say pure, there is no purer than pure. It's purest. Everybody is pure. You know, and everybody is at the highest pedestal when it comes to pure devotee. Pure devotees of God, and then example is actually Arjuna himself. He is the pure devotee, and we had discussed also sometime that Arjuna was put into the state of confusion. He's the pure devotee of the Lord, so there is no confusion. He should know exactly how to please Krishna. He knows how this battle has to be fought, but he goes into the state of confusion just to enact the Leela, so that Bhagavad Gita will be spoken, so that Krishna will explain all this, tenets of how to lead our life, how to make our lives perfect. There is no the chase of Maya is futile, but chase of Krishna is the thing that should be done. So just to enact such that this Bhagavad Gita could be spoken, Arjuna is it goes into the state of illusion. And it is explained that Arjuna is such a pure devotee of the Lord, his mind is always in constant remembrance of Krishna. It was said that even when he was sleeping, if you get close to him, then you would hear from his body the vibrations of Krishna's names. That is how pure the devotee was. He was always in constant remembrance of Krishna. The gopis of Vrindavan, they are in constant remembrance of Krishna. There was a joke, if I can repeat, which I heard in lecture, was that they cannot forget Krishna. Even if they meditate to forget Krishna, they cannot actually forget Krishna. They are in such constant remembrance of Krishna. And intelligence again, so they are always remembering Krishna. Intelligence, buddhi is how to serve Krishna more. How? So buddhi gives the reason how, right? How, and also whether I should do this, whether this will please Krishna, and whether this will not please Krishna. That is also the function of buddhi, intelligence. I always try to think, okay, mind comes and the intelligence say, okay, but what is mind? What is intelligence? What should it buddhi do? Buddhi gives us the reasons, reasoning power, right? And that is again separate from the soul, so we are not going there. We're just saying the soul resides in the body, which has gross element and the subtle element. That subtle element um, has mind, intelligence, and false ego, and the buddhi part is to reason us, to give us the reason and how to, for instance, get close to Krishna or not. Right? So therefore, when the buddhi is serving Krishna, that's what Krishna wants us to do here. And this is the pedestal of all pure devotees of Krishna. So are we at this level? No. We are not at this level. So then the next thing what Krishna says is that, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation. So we can chant Krishna's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Prabhupada says, what do? You do focus chanting. How do you focus chanting? Don't think about anything else. Just hear the sound vibration. As we chant these three syllables, Hare Krishna and Ram, that's what we should utter loud enough so we can listen to, and we are totally engrossed in listening the three syllables in this Mahamantra, right? So that is fixing the mind. But how long can we do that? If we cannot do that 24/7, then obviously we are not in the first category where Krishna says, just fix your mind. So that's what the second verse in the translation is. If you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So this is for, again, even the devotees who start doing Bhakti Yoga, which is again sadhana bhakti, right? So first one is for the siddhas who have actually perfected their bhakti, and that's how they are serving Krishna, because their mind is totally fixed, their intelligence is totally fixed. They cannot forget Krishna, and their intelligence is only using their gross body and mind how to please Krishna. What will I make next for Krishna? What will I make next for Krishna and his devotees? How will I serve Krishna and his devotees? And they are totally engaged in that. And the second is Bhakti Yoga. So if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, so we can chant our rounds, and some in those 16 rounds, maybe 3 or 4 times we are doing focus chanting. Then that is the way to go. So for somebody who cannot fix their mind totally on Krishna, So that means their desire to reach Krishna is not perfect. That their desire to attain Him has not become strong enough. So in those categories of devotees, like most of us, we do bhakti yoga, and that is what Prabhupada taught, right? So we chant Krishna's names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So there are some do's we do, which is chanting Krishna's names. They are regulative principles. Regulative, we don't engage in four sinful activities, which is the most sinful activity, which is to have sex outside our marriage, to eat things which, or to eat meat, to drink or consume intoxicants, and to engage in gambling. Right? So these are really four most simple activities. So that don't do that, right? And then do's again, chanting Krishna's names, reading Krishna Katha, reading pastimes of Krishna, engaging our mind in learning shlokas, verses, and the pure the transcendental literature, reading those. So those are the kind of things that is recommended for devotees who cannot continuously engage their mind and intelligence with Krishna. And what else we do? We take prasadam. We offer a fruit to Krishna. We make a small altar at home. We cook something, right? Vegetarian, sattvic food without onion and garlic. Uh, we offer that to Krishna, and then we'll do. In all these situations, if you think about it, when I'm making bhoga for Krishna, I know I'm not always or 100% engaging my intelligence and mind. I'm often deviated. I'm also sometimes, my mind goes everywhere. But that is just indicating that I have not reached perfection, right? Otherwise, if a pure devotee he or she will make bhoga for Krishna, then she will be imagining how Krishna will eat. She will actually ask, or he will ask what you want to eat. She will make plans of what Krishna wants to eat tomorrow, right? And then he will or she will start planning. So what I'm saying is, what I'm just trying to say is that um, the reciprocation and the engagement of pure devotees when they are doing even a simple bhoga offering is very, very different from somebody who, like me, sometimes thinks of Krishna and and but still, Prabhupada has promised you have to do 16 rounds. You have to follow regulative principles, and with the mercy of our acharyas, hopefully a desire will become prominent, will become powerful, and then we'll engage in Shuddha Bhakti towards the end. So this is like the second category. And Krishna says, okay, if you cannot even do this, then there is a third option. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. So this is like, again, what is the most tough is your subtle body, mind and intelligence. If you surrender your mind and intelligence to Krishna, that is the highest pedestal. And if you cannot do that, then act for Krishna, work for Krishna. You may not be constant remembrance of Krishna in that process, but when you act for Krishna, then you progress. Then we go one step further. Maybe then, we are washing the temple floors. We are not chanting our rounds. We are not really totally keen when it comes to regulative principles. But then, because we are working for Krishna, slowly the desire will come. That's how it happens with most devotees. We come to Krishna's temple and we do some seva. we start doing seva for a period of time, and then we engage in more. Okay, we start doing bhakti yoga as taught by Srila Prabhupada, right? We start doing chanting, we start doing kirtans, we start offering bhoga to Krishna every day, and not take anything, consume anything which is not healthy, the sinful activities we don't engage in, right? So it is a progression, and this progression happens by working for Krishna, doing some service for Krishna. And Krishna says, if however you are not able to work in consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situating. So then you give up the results. So that is, you did something and then you gave up the results. Not to Krishna, to something, to some charity in sense, right? So that is, I guess, if you're not at that level, then at least you do this. And then the last, it says, if you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. With better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is realization of fruits of action by which. So if your mind if is not totally ready, if your mind is not totally ready, if your intelligence is totally ready to even uh, not in constant remembrance, not in bhakti, you have not even asked for Krishna or give up the rules, then read. Then the knowledge, then you read or approach knowledgeable people, and then they will give you guidance so that the purification of your mind or mind intelligence can take place. And then we can go to next level. So Krishna in these from 8 to 12, Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, verse 8 to 12, outlines different categories of devotees, starting at the very highest level. If you cannot do this, then you do this, then you do this, or you do this, and then we progress. But what we want to really do is A, realize that we are not at the highest level, and B, Bhakti Yoga, as taught by Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas. And it's quite simple, right? So there are some do's and there are some don'ts. And we have already talked about some do's like chanting of Krishna's names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. So the first type of chanting is the japa. Japa is, like I said, is the chanting, is quiet chanting, chanting alone or in the devotees in your beats. Okay, I don't have beats, but yeah. So the beats it has 108 chords of Tulasi, and then you chant Krishna's names, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and you do kirtan, you come to temple, you meet other devotees, you meet senior devotees, take their association, learn how they are doing, how well they are practicing their bhakti yoga, take inspiration from them, take prasadam in the temple, make prasadam at home, offer to Krishna, make a small altar, have a picture of Krishna, offer to Krishna in the morning, in the evening, and then slowly we progress. And then the desire will come, and then other things. Then the desire will come. Okay, now we have to go to Dham, like one Prabhu 2 weeks back he was talking about Vrindavan Dham. So then that is again next do's, some more do's, right? So this is a journey. The more we advance, the more do's and the more don'ts, right? So 4 regulative principles are very basic. This is really simple because it really takes us totally away from whatever we are trying to achieve. Eating meat, it's really simple. It just kills, right? Whatever we are trying to do. What are the more other advanced do's and don'ts, like the 10 offenses to the holy name? So once we start chanting, then there are some advanced don'ts, like unfocused chanting, and there are other. I'm not ready with the list right now, but then there are some advanced zones. Then there are advanced do's. So okay, I'm chanting Krishna's names. Now what else can I do? My inspiration, or like Krishna says, or in this way develop a desire to attain me. So I've reached this level of my practice. What to do next? Visit the dham. Okay, I went to dham. Now I went to dham, but I didn't see the dham. Then I go serve in the dham, the Vaishnavas there, the first devotee, and then see dham, the spiritual places, um, under the guidance of advanced devotees who have actually understood the real significance of the dham. So if you go to yatras organized by spiritual masters, they can really make you connect with the place. They will have a katha, they will have a pastime. Okay, this is where Srimati Radharani met, meets Krishna every day. And this was the famous pastime that happened here, and this pastime happened there. So we go to dham like Vrindavan Dham, like Mayapur Dham, where Lord Chaitanya was born, like Jagannath Puri, right? Like Ayodhya Dham. So there are different dhams where the Supreme Personality of Godhead has either descended or did some very important pastimes. So they become a center and a gateway to the real dham. The real dham is in the spiritual world, like we were talking about. So it's the spiritual world, right? The spiritual world, the perfection of a spiritual world is the Vaikuntha planets. And the Vaikuntha planets, you have Krishna. He's doing his Nitya Leela in Goloka Vrindavan. Shri Ramachandra is doing his Nitya Leela in Saket Dham. Always. But he sometimes comes, or like in Treta Yuga, Lord Ramachandra came. In Satya Yuga, Lord Narasimha came. In Dwapar, Lord Krishna came to specific places and they become Dham. And they remain the gateway to him. They are spiritually energized places where we can go several steps further. It is said that when we chant Krishna's names in the dham, then it has much more impact in cleansing our consciousness. So when you go to Vrindavan Dham and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, focus chanting with devotees there, it has even more impact. So I've spoken to some devotees who distribute books. They say they need to go every year in Kartik because they need to regain their spiritual energy to this, to get a fresh motivation, fresh inspiration to serve Krishna again. So that is, like I said, one more do's we learn, right? And then we also learn more don'ts, like what not to do in dham, right? So the different aparats that we can get. So this Krishna says very briefly in Bhagavad Gita how to surrender. He tells very briefly how to surrender your mind, or to surrender mind and intelligence. How to do that? Our acharyas that teach us, how to do that. We take a chanting lead and we do 16 rounds. Actually, Prabhupada asked his devotees to do 64 rounds, but then that was becoming too much. Actually, what Prabhupada said was that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna, right? But bargain from that goes to 64 rounds, and then he eventually said 16 rounds and no less. So 16 rounds, it takes around 2 hours, and then if you do that early in the morning, waking up, that is the best thing to do. I'm telling that to myself. That is when that is the process. That is the recommended process. And reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and other Vaishnava literature. Yes. So I just want to summarize as to what we have been speaking about today. Um, First thing I wanted to just say that it is very easy, very this is a geet, it is a song. These verses they have a meter, they can be sung. It's a very beautiful experience to learn how to recite verses and sing them. That's what we first did. We pick one of the verses, try to recite it. The second thing what we tried to do was to sing that verse again in a prayerful mood, because that was the prayer of Arjuna where he was surrendering unto Krishna. He did not know what to do, and he was reaching out to Krishna, and he was reciting this verse in total humility. Arjuna is not an ordinary person. He is the strongest Kshatriya the world had ever seen. He had defeated Indra. He had fought Shiva. He was a very powerful man. But still he got confused. Or he acted like he got confused, and he sought Krishna. So and then he surrendered. He does not surrender for anybody to anybody. He is a Kshatriya. He is a warrior. He just in Hindi they say lalkar, or you just or you give him one reason to, to show how powerful and how courageous he is. He will do that. If he righteous cause and he has to kill demons, he will do that. He is not afraid. Right? He does not surrender. He does not surrender to anything else but Krishna. Right? And in that prayerful mood, that verse 2:7 is recited. So there are a lot of realizations just from that verse to surrender to Krishna, and to recite that verse also in our context. That okay, we are suffering. Krishna, can you help me? Right? And then Krishna says, okay, yes, you are surrendering. So how to surrender? Surrender your mind and intelligence. But that is not the level we are at. Right? If you cannot do that, then just engage in Bhakti Yoga. And then we discuss the elements of Bhakti Yoga. If you cannot do that, then work for me, conscious of me. If you cannot do that, work not conscious of me, but just give away the results, right? And then if you cannot even do that, then cultivate knowledge. With knowledge, you will understand why the previous steps are necessary. Why? Okay, I am so engrossed in matter, in filthy activities. With knowledge, I will have understanding that is not a good path to go, right? And then slowly and steadily, we will develop our consciousness further, and we will engage in more Krishna conscious path, and make our lives perfect. That was what I spoke about. Are there any questions?
Not question, but comment.
Yeah, please.
One thing, whatever you discussed, right? First thing is, it's very important that person should understand where he needs an help, and then you ask to the right person to get an help. So Arjuna was, so powerful, like you said, right? He defeated Indra, or even he fought battle with Shiva. And then he was confused. He accepted that fact, and he surrendered to the proper person, right? Krishna, right? That's one thing. And another which I liked the most in your lecture is our Krishna consciousness is very dynamic. It's not rigid. Krishna is not like any other Abrahamic religions like God, right? Like if you do this, then you will get this. If you don't do this, then you will go into hell, right? It's not like that. Krishna is saying, Krishna is giving so many different options. If you are able to do this, you do this. If you are not able to do this, at least you do this. If you are not able to do this, at least you do this, right? So giving multiple options to us, so that's how he's giving his mercy through different options. So it's amazing.
Thank you, Prabhu. And at the end, he says, but it's up to you.
Yeah. Still the choice.
It's still your choice. So he says, my opinion, but then it is, it's yourself. He gives the freedom for us to choose, and he says, I will not interfere in that, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't remember the verse. I may be paraphrasing it, but he gives the freedom. Yes. Okay. So should we go on to the next one? So we'll do standing arati now.
जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा ओ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा
जय जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस भक्तिवेदांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्त वृंद की रामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय जय श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की मथुरा धाम की वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर धाम की जगन्नाथ धाम की यमुना माई की गंगा माई की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki. So we sing Narasimha Aarti. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lad Dai. तव कर कमल बरे लता अद्भुत श्रृंगार ललिता हिरण्य कश्यपु केशव देता नर हरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जगदीश भगवान की महाराज की प्रभुपाद की हरे कृष्णा।